Welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Marietta.
And I'm Connie. And today we're doing a breakdown episode, down Wendy's episode. And she was the double lung transplant.
Which is all in of itself is amazing.
Yeah, actually, our aunt had a friend who died from a double lung transplant, and he never even made it out of the hospital.
Yeah, they can get complicated. They talked to one of our aunts about getting one, and she kind of had the same situation that Wendy talked about, where like she didn't really think she was that sick, and then when she got that sick, it was too late.
Really? Aunt Mary?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, they talked to her about it.
By the way.
Thank you. Somebody I know really nice gave it to me. They talked to her about it, and she was like, Wendy talked about, she was in and out, like, oh, I'm not that sick, I don't need to run transplant. And then I think the recovery really scared her too.
Lydia probably scared her.
Yeah, probably,
because Lydia had a friend and they were close, Lydia and Mary.
Yeah, probably.
So and Lydia probably, because Lydia's scared of all of any type of medical surgery.
And Mary did go downhill fast, because my mom was with me in Hawaii and she had been doing okay, and then like all of a sudden it was like, I have to go. I mean, she was sick with the lung thing for a long time, but like when it got bad, it got bad fast.
Well, your lungs are kind of important. You gotta breathe
just slightly.
And it keeps everything functioning. I mean, besides your brain and your heart, like lungs would be the next biggest. I mean, honestly, all of our organs are important. There's very few that aren't. Like, okay, I can lose one. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're
you
all
can lose
kind
a kidney.
Important.
That's about it.
Yeah. But I think the Viagra story, I think that was.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe that it was that highly controlled.
I guess because like she said, it was brand new and they didn't really like know everything about it and people wanted it. Like she was cracking me up. That was hilarious. And then her dog eating one.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for when she went to the pharmacy to tell them that her dog ate one, and they're going, sure.
Yeah, their dog ate one. The dog ate my homework too.
Yeah, I mean, sure, the dog ate one. Is that the code for black market selling?
See, so you know, like the fainting when she was talking about, like that was like her, oh shit, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I wonder if Lydia like should have gone to the hospital more when she fainted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she always sum it up to blood pressure, but maybe it was something else.
It could have been, that's for sure.
You never know.
I know, I'm pretty sure mom said that she's been fainting since she was a kid. So, but who knows? I mean, she could have been dealing with something for a long time.
Because I remember it scared the crap out of Tom when I fainted. Because it was in the middle of the night and Tom just hears me go smack against the door frame. Mm-hmm. And I think I even ended up like a little bloody too. Like, I can't remember something, if it was my nose, what, I don't remember.
Something. Yeah.
I just remember I didn't eat and I wasn't drinking water.
Bad girl.
And that's when I was like, no, I was like, that's why. It's fine. It's fine. And he's like fawning over me and I'm like just getting back into bed. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. And I'm going to sleep. I'm like, get me some water.
Leave me alone. Fine. Yeah. Well, and low blood pressure runs in our family. Mine's low, yours low, my mom's is, Lydia's is, Mary's was. I mean, everybody in our family has low blood pressure.
Mine isn't like super low. And then when I was pregnant, it went to normal, almost high, but like not a high that they were, not a high that they were worried about. But my blood pressure isn't as low as like Lydia's gets.
Yeah. I mean, that same thing happened to me when I was pregnant. Mine was normal for like the first time in my life ever. I was always low, but yeah, I don't know. Mary tried to say that like her blood pressure at one point was like 60/40. And I'm like, you'd be dead. It was never that low. You'd be dead on the floor.
The only thing that I remember is a lady, she must have been a new nurse, had to do my blood pressure 2 or 3 times because she couldn't like get a reading or like find a reading. And she's like, well, I know you're not dead. And that's like the only reason why it sticks out to me, because it's well, I know you're not dead, so you have to have a blood pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the memory issues, you know how she was talking about like being groggy and then having like the PTSD.
Yes.
It's so, I connect with that more now than I did the last time we recorded it. For people who don't know, this is actually this is the second time we actually recorded this because we accidentally lost the episode. Sorry, guys.
Rihanna lost it. It's okay. I take full responsibility.
It happens.
Accidents happen.
Yes. But anyway, no, Tom's buddy was a radiator or something, flew up, hit him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And he had brain surgery, and like he was very fuzzy like the first few weeks in ICU because he had like a lot of he had a couple like complications and stuff. He's okay now. He's good. Like he's in rehab. He's going back to work slowly but surely. But the first, he thought, when he was first admitted and stuff, he thought that what is his name? He's a famous comedian who's Black. What is his name? Oh my
Kevin
God.
Hart.
And he thought Kevin Hart was taking him to the MRI, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
That's awesome.
And then he thought his wife was out partying while he was in the hospital, and it was it has taken her a very long time. Like this whole time this accident happened, I was still pregnant. It happened this spring, right before grandma passed. And he still believes in his heart, because that's how twisted his memories are and foggy, that he really believes that his wife was out partying and not at the hospital every moment of every day and only going home to sleep at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad it can mess up your memory.
Absolutely.
And being on all the drugs, going into surgery, coming out of surgery, etc. So
and John talked about that too. Our first interview, John, when he had his double arm transplant, he talked about that too. And even before that, when he was blown up the first time, there's a lot of memories that are just not there.
Or you'll get them, or something will trigger a memory to come back. So hopefully that happens to Matt, so that he can stop believing that his wife was out partying. It's no, I wasn't partying. Oh my God.
He also should just at this point believe her, because she told him that it didn't happen.
And you were on drugs.
Right.
Come on, guy.
But also not my marriage. So
well, and sometimes if you just believe something to your heart of hearts, it's hard to get that message through. It's you can say it a million times. It doesn't necessarily connect, especially because he's still working on memory and brain issues and stuff. So it's not necessarily that she just hasn't told him. It can also just be his memory. He's forgotten that she has told him, no, I was there by your side.
Yes. So how would you feel if you were told you have 2 years to live?
Not good at all, because I have this little man. I mean, I would be okay, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's all you can really do. I think I would do the same thing. I'd go into okay, what can I get taken care of in the next 2 years to set my family up for when I'm not here anymore?
Well, I'd be doing that, and I would be doing, okay, well, how can I prolong my life? What's the next step?
That too.
Because I'm a very steps person. Okay, first this happened, and now you go to step X, Y, and Z. Because I'm a planner, and I am a control freak as well. It is actually surprising I don't have more anxiety.
Well, you heard, and Wendy talked about that. It's natural for your brain to want to know the next steps. So it's not like you're being outlandish. That's just how we're wired.
Well, and I'm definitely not an ignore a problem, because I feel like we've seen a lot of people ignore health problems, and it never turns out well. No. So therefore, I'm not ignoring any sort of health problem.
I'd also do a lot of traveling.
Oh, for sure. I'd be taking out all of the money to go and travel. And also, like, I think, what is it called? I forgot. Anyway. Oh well, I forgot. When I remember, I'll talk about it again.
All good. All good.
Yep. I would definitely be traveling. I would be setting stuff up for this little guy. And then training Tom on how to deal with a baby because he has no idea.
He would figure it out. He would figure it out.
You know what he said? Okay, before I had the baby, you know, there's a small percentage something could happen to you, right? Never planned, obviously.
Right.
And Tom's like, well, your mom would be getting the baby because I don't know how to do this. And I was like, Tom, you have to learn. He's your son.
I'm sure
you
he was
cannot
kidding.
just hoist the baby. Well,
at least partially anyway. Yeah.
He was partially kidding. I think he would be like reaching out to all of the parents for help.
I have no doubt that it would be terrifying.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and I have no doubt it'd be terrifying for anybody. If you lost Tom, it would be terrifying. But you'd figure it out. I mean, think about Ashley Buggy. We go all the way back to Ashley Buggy, who lost her husband. She had 3 kids or 2 kids and she was pregnant. She figured it out. She's still figuring it out.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time and it takes help.
And the determination to not give up, to figure it out.
Especially for Ashley, definitely determination because, I mean, she was pregnant and was not doing so well.
That girl is a trooper. She still is a trooper. I love her Instagram because she's just so real.
She does also a lot of really cool things.
She does. And she still gets in the water, which is another thing that...
Oh my God, that'd terrify.
A lot of people wouldn't do it.
Losing your husband in the water, if you guys remember. She lost her husband diving. So getting into the water, that would be scary. And even diving to where he was diving, that would be scary to me too.
And she does that.
Yep.
If you guys have not listened to that episode, that is definitely one of our top popular ones with Ashley Buggy.
Well, and you know what? It just goes back to resilience and this resilience training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's everything that we've just talked about is resilience.
Yes.
Is getting through a tough situation and being able to mentally deal with a tough situation.
And I love that Wendy took that on after she went through all of that and
taking on a nonprofit. That's a lot to take on.
Yeah. I mean, and luckily she's got her husband, and we talked to Gordon on here as well, so you guys can listen to that episode as well. They're a killer team, the two of them together, man.
Yeah, I wish the episodes would be like one right after the other. You know what I mean? Like we have like such a big break between Gordon and Wendy. Like I wish they were actually like we recorded Gordon's and then we recorded Wendy's. You know what I mean? You could like compare, contrast.
We could always re-release like here's the new edited. I could even like edit the two of them together and like make it into this like new special re-release.
Or we could do a special and re-release his episode, her episode, and do a combined episode.
We could
record a combined episode with them. We could do all of the things. Maybe one day. We'll see. You guys will eventually see whenever we figure something out.
Yep. They are the definition,
as you guys can tell, we are always changing at this podcast, obviously.
Yes. And they are just the definition of like a power couple.
Yes. And they help each other out, I feel.
Massively.
Like one helps the other.
Yes.
Which, I mean, that's a good marriage and a good relationship in general is you're not one person is taking more from the other and vice versa.
Better than your friend accusing his wife of partying while he was in the hospital.
Hey, gotta give him a break.
I'm teasing.
Actually, he's the godfather. He's his godfather. And I was like, look, buddy, you guys got to get your shit together. So, and it's memory issues. It takes time. And actually, I think I was more, after this accident happened with Matt, I feel like I was more thankful that Mitchell didn't have brain and memory issues along with the spinal cord, because I can't imagine having to deal with a spinal cord injury and memory issues and thinking your wife isn't there or your family wasn't there for you or something like that,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm sure that first week though for him probably is blurry. That first time that he woke up and he's in and out of consciousness and in
for
and out
sure.
of drugs, and that's kind of what Wendy was
no,
talking
and he
about.
doesn't remember. He doesn't remember the accident. He doesn't remember going to the hospital, the surgeries. He doesn't really remember any of that.
Well, yeah, when you're under that heavy of
I
a
don't know
sedation,
I don't know when his memory exactly like picks up, but as long as you're, you don't have mentally, you're not like constantly going back and your memories are warping and stuff like that. Like that's worse. Not remembering, that's expected.
yeah.
But having like warped memories and stuff, that would be bad. That would, on top of a spinal cord injury, yeah, that's not necessary.
No. And if you guys want to share any of your crazy memory stories or lack thereof memory stories with us, please feel free to do that. We might even talk about them on another breakdown episode. Just putting that out there.
Well, actually, I have something to add about memory. So it's more like dreamlike, but it's funny. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking I am feeding Theo, and I look around for him too. Like I look in the bed, I'm like, where is he? I was just feeding him. And then I look on the baby monitor and he's in his room, in his crib. I'm like, why do I keep waking up like this? And a couple of times I've woken up thinking I've rolled on top of him while feeding him.
That's
I'm like,
a mom
oh God,
thing.
where is he?
That's
I'm like,
a mom thing.
like wake up like that. And then I'm like, no, he's I think that's also a sleep deprived thing. It's like, you have not been getting a lot of sleep, huh, lady?
This is one of the reasons that I never let Jackson sleep in bed with me, because that was one of like my biggest fears, was like rolling over on top of him. And I'm like, nope.
Well, I wasn't really sleeping with him in bed. Like I would sleep on the couch with him like the first few weeks when he like wouldn't go
that's
down
different.
for the, like night.
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking like in
actually,
the bed.
They say that that's
purposely sleeping with him.
They say that
like
that's worse.
Hmm.
Well, they say that that's worse, sleeping on the couch. I would like sleep with him with like my hands crossed over his body and him on my chest, because like he wouldn't go down for the night.
Yeah.
But either way, like I would go and I'd feed him in our room, like with the TV on, because I'm a bad mom, I guess. I'm sure you're not supposed to, but I'm like, I'm bored and I'm here and I have to feed him for like an hour. Like that's how long he takes at night. So I would go into our room, but that's why I'd wake up and think like, wait, I was just feeding him. Or I'd feel like a pain in my nipples and be like, no, I'm feeding him, right? Well, I was just feeding him. And it was like, no, you're not feeding him. He's in his room, in his crib. You're going mental.
It happens. Our mind is a crazy thing. It does a lot of, I wake up and write books. I write down books in the middle of the night. It's crazy what our mind does. Charlie Puth writes music in his sleep. Like, crazy.
Oh, yeah. I get it. You know what's funny is actually going through like lists or like organizing or planning or like thinking about things in an organizational manner actually puts me to sleep. Like sometimes I have to go to bed and think of like, okay, now what's going to happen for Theo's baptism and who is bringing what? And like that type of like list kind of gets me to go to sleep. So that's kind of weird. I'm sure that's normal, but whatever.
No, I think that's normal. I think about like what I want to write next too. And like, I literally get like good ideas, like right as I'm going to sleep. Like, I feel like that's kind of normal.
Yeah, you're just trying to calm your mind down. It's fine. I don't know. Sometimes my mind is just too busy and it's like it has to have some sort of organization, because if it doesn't, if I'm not organizing like my thoughts, then it's all just crazy and all over the place and I'll never get to sleep. So this is how to deal when shit gets real, guys. And this is a bonus breakdown episode and we hope you like them. You let us know in our comments. Don't forget to rate and review us. See y'all next episode.